booking, and then you get to enjoy that discount. Don't just hear it. Go and run the process and go to Morocco to enjoy the AFCON. See the games live. We want you to see the Super Eagles and Les Elephants of La Côte d'Ivoire. So visit duniasafari.com, call 053-808-7709, 053-808-7709, or you can send them an email, travelduniasafari@gmail.com, travelduniasafari@gmail.com. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Travel Dunia Safari. And don't forget to book using the Sporty FM promo code SportyFan25. All right, as promised, let's hear from Dr. Randy Abbey. Dr. Randy Abbey. He was on the Sporty Drive yesterday. And he spoke on a number of things, right? He spoke on a number of things, funding, players, and all of that. So let's hear this first clip from yesterday's interview. Okay, all right. We'll hear from Randy Abbey in a bit. We'll put Randy Abbey to the side for now. But the Black Queens are playing later today. So let's focus on the Black Queens for now. We'll come back to Randy Abbey in a second. 7:38. Joining me is our very good friend, Matilda Jimedo. She's the team media officer for the Black Queens and a host of the other national teams, or the women's national teams. And she's with the team in Egypt. They are prepping for a big day. So let's get to Matilda. She'll tell us a bit more as to what's happening with the Black Queens. Tilly, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you today, and how is Egypt?
All right, good morning. I'm doing well, and Egypt is also fine. Everything is fine with us.
Wonderful. The Black Queens are in action today. For those who may not understand the importance of this qualifier, can you just explain why it is important that the Black Queens must get a good result today, and why they are trying to go back to the WAFCON, which will be played sometime next year in Morocco?
All right, thank you very much. I think this game is very, very, very important for the Black Queens and for Ghana as well, because it's not just a WAFCON qualifier that we are playing, but it's a qualifier that we are playing, and it is going to be propelling the team towards the team's ambition of returning to a World Cup and be returning to the World Cup and be a World Cup qualified team. And I explained that as, 2020, the WAFCON 2024 wasn't a World Cup qualifying WAFCON, but rather the 2026 WAFCON. If you are able to get to the 2026 WAFCON and then you get into the last four, then it means you qualify to go play in the World Cup in Brazil 2027. And that is the main reason why it is very, very important for the Black Queens to beat Egypt in this game and qualify for the WAFCON. So it's a WAFCON qualifier as well as a stepping stone towards getting to Brazil 2027.
Wonderful. After this round, should the Black Queens go past Egypt, are they facing any other teams, or this is the final round of qualifiers for the WAFCON?
Okay, so I think this is the final round of qualifiers for the WAFCON. Sorry? I think this is the final round of qualifiers for the WAFCON, because when they were playing the first round, the Black Queens were already in Morocco playing WAFCON 2024. So we were exempted from playing the first round. And then we have to come back into the second round. So a lot of the teams that were in the WAFCON 2024 in Morocco did not participate in the first round. And all those teams are joining in the second round. And so the case of the Black Queens are not different. We are joining in the second round just like the other teams.
Wonderful. How have the Queens been getting ready for this game? Earlier in the week, we had 18 players were in camp. I'm sure a few others joined later. But how have the preparations looked like ever since they gathered in camp for this game?
All right. So the preparations have been absolutely amazing. We started with 18 players on Monday. That was our very first training. simply because of flight issues, and some of the players had to play their club side matches over the weekend before joining us. But in the Monday, after the Monday's training, right in the evening, the 6 other players that were not in camp joined us in camp in the evening. So the following day, which is on Tuesday, we had a full house making 24. And also yesterday for our official training, we had a full house making 24. So as I speak to you now, we have full house, all the players are around, all of them have trained, and everybody is ever ready and equally ready for selection, and will be able to defend the flag of Ghana when given the opportunity by the technical team today.
How have the players been feeling ahead of this game? The last time they gathered as a team was in Morocco. They finished third and all. What's the vibe like in camp ahead of this game?
Well, when we came around, they were so happy. It's been like over 2 months that they saw each other. So there was positive energy, positive vibe in camp. Everybody was happy. Everybody was happy to see their friends, to see us all coming back to camp together. The energy is so high. This time around, after our performance in Morocco, we know a lot will be expected from us. And because of that, they were taking training very serious, whilst also having fun as well. And I can confidently tell you that the atmosphere here is very cool. Everybody is pumped up for action. And we know this evening the girls will be ready to deliver and defend the flag of Ghana.
You know, typically when we talk about women's football on the continent, we'll mention Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Cameroon, Morocco to a large extent. Egypt hasn't really showed up on the radar. How good are they, and will they be a big problem for the Queens this evening?
Well, I think under normal circumstances, Egypt shouldn't be a big problem for us, but football is evolving. Even in some time past, Morocco wasn't part of the big guns when it comes to women football on the continent. But today, Morocco is rocking shoulders with us. So we are not leaving any stone unturned. We are not looking down upon our opponents. We are just going in with our game plan, and the plan is to win over the 2 legs and qualify for the WAFCON. We've seen a few of their games. The technical team have analyzed these games with the ladies, and we are trying everything possible to make sure we are able to contain them. They have few players who are very good and sharp on the ball up front as well. So we'll be able to map up a strategy to contain them and be able to get our win. That's it.
Wonderful. Finally, what time is kickoff for those who want to follow from Ghana? What time is kickoff?
Well, with kickoff in Ghana is 4 p.m. Ghana time, and then 7 p.m. Egyptian time. Yeah.
Okay, so a 3-hour difference. Tilly, thank you so much. We wish the team the very best ahead of tonight. I'm sure we'll speak again after the game and ahead of that second leg.
All right, thank you very much. We just hope that Ghanaians will support us in prayer, and then at the end of the day, we will bring the win back to Ghana.
Wonderful. Tilly, thank you so much. Enjoy the day, and we wish the team the very best.
All right.
All right. That was Matilda Jimedo. She's team media officer for the Black Queens. They are currently in Egypt as we speak, getting ready for that game against the Egyptians in the WAFCON qualifier. So the context has been explained. Right? So this game is extremely important. The Queens are hoping to get themselves success over 2 legs. Okay, success over 2 legs, and then that takes them to the WAFCON. Now, in the WAFCON, we know what they must do. They have to finish in the semi-finals, or they have to qualify for the semi-finals, and then they will and then they would have booked their tickets to the World Cup in Brazil. Abigail Senasosu is back. Abigail, welcome back. Thank you. Wow, so a few months ago, the Queens, I remember when we hosted them post the Women's AFCON. Now they have to do it all over again. They meet to play in Egypt. You know, what do you make of the team as things stand? This is their very first competitive game after they last met in Morocco. Yeah. What do you expect? Do you think that the levels will drop, or we should expect a team that will be pumped, knowing that the ultimate aim is to grab a World Cup ticket?
Well, personally, I think that I like the energies around the girls after WAFCON. They've tried so much to stay afloat. We've seen them move around. Chantel moved to Nottingham. We've seen Portia Boache now with TP Mazembe means that she's going to be active. She's going to get into the CAF Champions League with TP Mazembe.
Yeah.
Cynthia Philip, we're having so much confusion around her Squeaky team if she was getting back. But information we're also picking up is that Summertex ladies who are going to be new entrants in the Women's Premier League, she's agreed to be with them for some time. Afi has also headed out to an Hungarian club. So it clearly tells you that the girls are trying so hard to stay afloat, stay focused, and it's good to see that we do not disband the same. Like, literally all of them coming back together. Abigail Kofi Kim was a part of it, but unfortunately she dropped along the line, couldn't go to Morocco. She's back here. Helen Alomenu, great talent here, now in the States, getting the opportunity with the senior national team. It's all well and good. Kerry McCarthy is still around, so that progression for our goalkeepers is also there as well. I am happy that Sarah Nyako has been loaded into that fold. She doesn't look like the football she plays, you know. She's right on the quiet side, but you get to have the wings. As I've showed us that she needs a lot more coaching, a lot more talking to, and she can get the job done over and above herself. So I am happy with the setup and the fact that we have maintained our coach as well, you know. Well, I've always said that it's that progression that we all want. Desiree Ellis at least has shown the way, that allow the person to make their mistakes, let the person correct it. If you expect immediate results, we will keep chopping and changing and trying to put different managers where they will not give us the results we want. I'm happy that Kimlas gets to oversee this again and try and then qualify for Morocco. At least he's been there. So if he gets back there, maybe it will be different cities. We might not be lucky to get back to Berkane and Saidea. Maybe we will now have to be in the capital, like the noise and all of that. But at least he got to have a feel of that as well when the team qualified for the semis. And so he's seen all the sides. And it's sad that we would have to do it all over again and hope that we get back into the last four and then get to the point that we did and get that ticket. A lot of us were really praying that Morocco would have said they can't do it, so that we just keep keep the last one. But they also are on a mission. They really want to win the WAFCON. So maybe until they win, they'll continue to bid to host it. And so they have every reason to. They've come close to it 2 times. But for the Queens, I think that we just have to have our head in the game. It's nothing far off. Mary and Constance also joined from China ahead of the WAFCON. Her team were giving the technical team some options. She would have flown in and out of Morocco just to analyze certain games. They wouldn't have been good on her mental health as well. I'm sure that's why she couldn't finally make it. But she's here. And even before she left for China, we know how Mary will score for fun. That day they call her, you know, she's not strong. So I'm really hoping that if we get her up front, maybe together with Doris Bedu, I might get to see what Doris really offers, because she really had to pull herself along with the team in Morocco the last time. She was given all the opportunities, but finding the back of the net was quite difficult for her. Priscilla Dubia is still around. She's shown that if you give her the opportunity up front, she'll continue to do what she does. I'm just hoping that we'll get to see Grace Santoa in that good form again. At least she promised us in Morocco that this is just the beginning. She would try to get back into her own body again and do things she's done in time past. So I'm really looking forward to a team that will give us continuity, because they wouldn't really be different from what we have. If we have had a new set of players altogether, that's when you'll be thinking of who will play who will play what. So clearly, there's still going to be that Portia. You're going to see Amadia. So with that role at the back, you are still going to see comfortable. So it wouldn't be anything far from what we know, but I'm just hoping that they'll be able to get the result. This is the only one we are going to play. Like Matilda rightly said, we've been drawn by for the first 2 rounds, and this is the last one. Win away, come back home, finish it up on Tuesday, and head into WAFCON. So it looks simple, but the 90 minutes has a lot. I mean, those 180 minutes look very, very cumbersome. But I'm just positive that the girls will be able to do it. And like you rightly mentioned, Egypt should not be a side that should scare Ghana. And I really appreciate how Matilda also put it. The game is evolving. The North Africans especially are beginning to understand that football goes beyond hijab. It goes beyond the fact that you are just a girl and you might not be allowed to play. Now, they are also really getting into it. And Morocco has led the way. Tunisia are trying to catch up. And then we have Egypt as well. So they'll give us a test, but it shouldn't be one that we cannot surmount. We've seen this and been through this too many times for Egypt to be the ones that will stop up. They will really love to, but I'm very positive that the crop of players that we have and the reinforcement that we have done. Our girls have not been idle. They've been active. They've been with clubs that will allow them to play. So I feel that they should have the energy to be able to show up this evening.
I see. So Ghanaians should expect a good result?
Yes. I see. A very good result. A very, very good result. I'm very positive. The intimidation there, at this point in time, if you're playing at this level, you should know that when you go to some of these places, it's just normal. Because I tried to engage Matilda earlier to see if we could get the feed and all of that. And the people are quiet about it, They would like to do some of these things. But at this level, you should know that when you enter a North African terrain, it's a norm. You should be able to play past it and then just move on. They've all gone through the ranks. I think Jennifer will do a good job to at least let those who are now joining know that, come on, we had to go to Casablanca and play against Morocco in that noisy stadium. You can't even hear yourself when you are moving around. But we're able to hold ourselves together. Unfortunately, they lost. But it is a good way, ambience they've picked up. They should be able to translate it to the others that have joined. And they should look beyond that intimidation that no matter what, it will come. But they should be able to look beyond it and get the job done and get out of Egypt.
All right, we'll see how it goes. Abigail, thank you so much. So for those who want to follow 4 p.m. Ghana time, follow that game, 7 p.m. in Cairo or in Ismailia in Egypt, wherever. That's the lowdown. So the squad that the head coach named, for context, let me just run through the names for our listeners.
I think Anastasia couldn't show up. And her place was supposed to have been taken by Wasila Mohammed.
Okay.
I'm sure. But
okay.
I didn't see any of the pictures, so I don't know if she's reported yet. But from the initial information they put out, Anastasia couldn't show up.
Okay. So the full squad: Cynthia Conlan, Susanna Medria, Grace Asantua, Jennifer Kujo, Princess Marfo, Chantel Boyhlo, Doris Bredua, Princella Edubia, Alice Kusi. Well, the squad originally had Anastasia Chow, but you said there was an issue. Evelyn Bedu, Stella Nyamiche, Comfort Yeboah, Kerry McCarthy, Portia Boachi, Nancy Amu, Afi Amenyeku, Josephine Bonsu, Ernestina Bambila, Sharon Sampson, Nina Noshe, Louisa Eniwa, Helen Alomenu, and Miriam Ponsa. I noticed, so Abigail, if you compare the squad to the squad that went to Morocco, who are the newer faces in the team?
There's Sharon.
Okay, Sharon didn't go.
Sampson.
Okay, she didn't go.
The name doesn't sound familiar.
Is that Coach Sampson's daughter?
Yeah.
Oh!
She's been a part of the U20
U20? Oh, okay,
we called her, I think, some 2 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, we called her to be a part of the U20. Yeah, and I think she's gone on to do well for herself. She's playing actively, and so she's gotten the opportunity with the Black Queen. So she's the newbie. There's Helen Alomenu as well. So those are literally the new faces. Miriam Ponsa, she's been in and out, but away from Morocco, she's now getting back in there. So literally those three.
Wonderful. So the squad is largely the same.
Yeah.
With the exception of these three. And 3 is a good number to add to a team that's already.
And knowing Kim, and knowing he will stick to what he knows.
He will go with the familiar crop. It's always the safest option. I think it will take time.
Yeah.
Because if he had the full length of the qualifiers, he may have experimented.
But among the three, I'm really positive if anybody will have a chance at this game, it will be Miriam Ponsa, because we will want the goals up front.
Okay.
And she has a track record. Just that it was a club that couldn't get her to leave China to join us in Morocco. So she's not really a new face like that. He knows who she is from Mampim Dakwan down here to U20. So she went to China. So if there'll be a major change, I'm believing to be up front, and maybe Mary might get to play this game.
Get to play, I see. Well, I noticed that up front, when we went to the WAFCON, I think if the team had any challenges, it was up front. It was in attack. We really couldn't get Edubia and Doris Bredua to really hit the heights we wanted. So I guess that's where the slight change might come in. But we'll see. But the squad is a very familiar squad. Hopefully, they should get the job done this evening. Abigail, thank you so much. We'll keep an eye on that game. Tomorrow, God willing, we'll be here to give our listeners all the gist, all the news, all the reactions.
Sporty FM.
So that's the story of the Black Queens. They play against Egypt today. We'll keep an eye on it. From the Black Queens, let's talk about the Black Stars. And the Black Stars Management Committee chairman was on Sporty Drive yesterday. Dr. Randy Abbey, he had a few things to say. Let's get a few bites out of that interview. When we come back, we proceed with the show. This is the Sporty Breakfast, live on Sporty 106.1 FM. My name is Nathan Carr. The entire production team is in place to support and to back me. Let's listen to Dr. Randy Abbey. He was on the Sporty Drive yesterday.
And you know, for football, the issue of bonuses and per diems is a shishishi matter. You know, so sometimes having to pool the resources, I mean, the getting the flights and all that, accommodation, per diems, bonuses, salaries of the head coach and his assistants. I mean, all the other logistics that are required for these games is really a challenge. And I'm also happy that we have a sports minister who really is a driver and is somebody who is relentless in terms of getting things done. I mean, fortunately, the finance minister has also been extremely supportive, the chief of staff, and his deputy, Mr. Standogbe. And so you have a situation where everybody along the chain who has to play a role to ensure that we have these releases and we're able to do things have all showed up, come to the party and ensured that whatever has to be provided is provided on time.
So that's Dr. Randy Abbey speaking on the Sporty Drive. All right, he also shared his thoughts on players, right? This thing about Ghanaians who were born outside and all of that. And this is what he had to say.
I think that is a conversation that we need to be very careful about. And I say that for a number of reasons. First of all, every Ghanaian or anybody who qualifies to play for Ghana should have the opportunity to fight for the shirt. General principle, to fight for the shirt. Now, I am aware of players who have been scouted. Some of them we had written to FIFA asking for clearance because maybe some of them had featured in a friendly or something for one country or the other. And we're waiting for that green light. And we perhaps didn't get a green light before we qualified. These are things that the public is not aware of. So tomorrow, if there's a friendly and you see that kind of a player, he is not in the category of those who tend us down.
So Dr. Randy Abbey, clarifying that scouting has been done. Scouting has been done. So there are some players who the FA or the national team selectors are currently speaking with. They've had those conversations. It's just that the nationality switches have not been fully done. So those players cannot feature in anything Black Stars. They can only feature when their nationality switches have been completed. And then they will start appearing. So he says that don't be surprised if in a friendly or in a friendly game that the Black Stars will play prior to the World Cup, you see a player showing up and you say that, but this player, they've just brought him, No, they haven't just brought him. They've actually been working. They've actually been working on on some of those things, but those things are not in the public domain. It is true, lots of things happen, and those things are not in the public space because they are not meant for public consumption. So that's the lowdown from Dr. Randy Abbey. As I said, he was on the Sporty drive yesterday. It's 8:01. This is still the Sporty breakfast. All right, let me take some calls. Let me take some calls, right? We should take some calls. Yeah, let's take some calls. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. What is on your mind this morning? Do you want to react to some of the things Dr. Randy Abbey said? Do you want to talk about the Black Queens? Do you want to talk about the Champions League? The Champions League matches for Wednesday, of course, happened last night. Very interesting mix of results. Teams were winning at home. Were there away wins? It looks like there were no away wins except that of Liverpool. So I don't know what's on your mind. You can give us a call, 054-257-1061 and 030-279-4805, and let us know what you make or share with me what is on your mind, what you want to react to. Let me take this caller. Hello?
Hello, Ethan.
Yes.
My name is Osman.
Yes.
Okay, so it was a night yesterday night. My team trashed Ajax by 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good.
Sporty FM.
We didn't get a red card. Because it was something that was bothering me. Because the disciplinary aspect of the team was in question. And I hope Mariska will work on that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
With regards to the Black Queens, we wish them all the best.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see them in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
So Egypt shouldn't be any tough opponent for us. We should scale through and then prepare very well for the WAFCON next year, God willing, and then make it to the semi-final so that we'll be able to qualify for the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I was listening to Dr. Randy Abbey. He said so many things. With regards to the players who want to play for the World Cup, as he said, if you are a player who has been approached and your process is going through, your case is different from those who snub us.
Mm-hmm.
I remember very well Francis Amuzu.
Mm-hmm.
Years back when he was with Anderlecht, we approached him and all sort of things. Now he feels a Ghanaian. We've seen Inaki, we've seen Nketiah, Hudson-Odoi. Their cases will be dealt different. But those who were approached, but the documentation didn't go well as fast as we were expected, we'll give them the opportunity. Somebody like the left back who came, was the name or something. Atakon, yes. We are looking at other options to beef up the team. The best part is we want to see the Blasters perform well in the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
We don't just want to go and make up the numbers. That is what we are expecting. So if you are coming in, then it means you merit being part of the team, not just coming to adapt. You should ask yourself, what am I bringing on board to make the Blasters go and perform well at the World Cup? Thank you so much and have a good morning.
All right. Thank you so much. 5 minutes after 8. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Give me a call. Let me get your thoughts on all the things you've heard. Is it Champions League? Is it Black Queens, Black Stars? Any other thing you want to talk about? Give us a call and let's hear from you. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Hello, Nathan.
Yes.
What's up? This is Jason from East Legon.
Okay, please go ahead. Why?
Charlie, you do work.
I mean that they pay me, so I for work.
Charlie, make them double the payment.
And then they pay me, so I for work. How you go do them?
If they not double, I mean myself, I go double. Trust me.
Amen. God bless you.
Charlie, I appreciate you guys. You're doing awesome. You're doing awesome.
Thank you so much for calling. Really appreciate it. Charlie. Dude's energy at 7 minutes after 8 is so low in the morning. He's asking us where we get the energy from. Charlie, you have to. But anyway, every morning you wake up, you thank God. Do we have strength? We have strength. Let's go and work. Let's go and do the Lord's work. This is part of doing the Lord's work. Keeping people informed, entertained, educated. It is part of the Lord's work. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Look, even if you want to talk about basketball, give me a call. The NBA tipped off, was it 2 nights ago? Golden State won. I see that Portland won. Victor Wembanyama has already started. 40 points on opening night. If you want to talk about basketball, why not? Give us a call. I don't know what's on your mind. Let's hear from you. Let me take this caller.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
My name is Nana, calling from Matayako.
All right, go ahead.
So, Nate, I think I called in yesterday concerning Liverpool.
Yes.
I'm a Liverpool fan. Okay, so I was impressed with the performance.
Okay.
But then the same problem that we spoke about yesterday. You see the goal that we conceded. I've seen a couple of rival fans just laughing at the spaces in between and the counter-attack and how we were defending. It's a little bit amateurish, if you ask me. So going forward, like I've said, the only solution is to get a DM. And probably maybe, I don't know, just put up a squad or a team, which is a little bit... We are covered at the back. I think we look too open, especially with the counter-attacks. Now, I'll go on and say it again. This weekend, for all investors, is Liverpool to concede, Como to score. Don't forget to add it to your slip.
Liverpool to concede, Como to score.
Exactly.
I see, okay.
To basketball, I'm a Lakers fan, but then let's leave it aside. But I was a little bit surprised yesterday.
Okay.
With Celtics. I was thinking this was a game that they should be able to win, but I don't know what happened. So, hopefully, my sleep just went off. So,
the Celtics destroyed the sleep.
Exactly. I just woke up. I just woke up and I saw it was just by a point. And then,
they lost to Philly by a point. Yeah, well, tough loss there. But
the game is the game. So
the game is the game. That is true. Anyway, thank you so much for your call. 9 minutes after 8, 054-257-1061. Let me know what you make of, what we've discussed. Champions League, Black Queens, Black Stars. If you want to talk basketball, no problem. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Hello, Nathan.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Jordan from Wildlife.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, for what the guy said that he's working there because Charlie, they work too much. Every morning, you don't know where you find this review, then they will try. They try. So,
thank you.
Yeah, on those international players, or I don't know how to call them, the foreign players for the Black Stars. If you watch what they started doing, Randy, we beg you. We respect you so much. We beg you. They started throwing preambles around as to what to expect. They want to conscientize us as to what to expect when it comes to election and all that. Aside, okay, so Amuzu hasn't a doing and in KTR, we know for certain that they did not have any interest in playing for the Black Stars.
We know for certain.
Yes, we know because of what they said in the past and because of the way they have been behaving in the past. We don't want to make the Inaki mistake again. Who said he felt Spanish, he felt Basque. And later on, when he realized that we were on our way to qualify for the World Cup, and then he came. Look at how the boys are thinking. We are all complaining that they don't pass him the ball. The boys don't know what he did. This preamble that he's throwing around in the lights, we do not want to hear any, aside the corn guy, or I think, what's the name? Maybe okay, fine, he said it, we might not know. But we do not want to see the names of these three players.
Oh, but what if after analyzing everything, the coach says, okay, I'm going to a World Cup. We need more quality, and I think these guys can add quality.
Players say one medane Inketia ipaboleku as no do when Jawali Keba near Ipa. They don't play anything, they can't add any quality. You take the local boys. We have local boys who are equally good. We see them every day. We watch the English Premier League every day. Hasino do not do. He doesn't do anything for the team. He doesn't add anything to his team. He's always on the bench. In Ketia, the same. So I don't know the quality they will be adding to the team when local players can be given the opportunity to fight for the badge. Anyways, thank you very much. And then I was happy Chelsea won yesterday.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Interesting arguments. Well, look, quality should not know a tag. Quality should not have a tag. If there's a player in the Ghana Premier League who has the requisite quality and can add to the Black Stars, I think all players should be given the fair opportunity, a fair crack at the national team. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Hello, Nathan.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Just calling somebody now in circle.
Okay. Please go ahead.
I just woke up and saw Liverpool finally won the game to appease the gods.
they finally won a game to appease the gods.
Yes,
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
Because Harry Maguire said and get the goal, so they needed to appease them. Okay. I just want to remind the Liverpoolians that Harry Maguire scored more goals at Anfield than Rich and Isaac combined. Thank you, and have a good morning.
Okay. Hey, 30 minutes after it's boys are already doing banter. Quite interesting. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Good morning, Nathan.
Yes, good morning. All right, please go ahead.
Yes, yesterday, Atlanta did some of us very, 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 very dirty.
I told you people that in all of this, 1 or 2 games will end up goalless. I was not disappointed.
Yeah, you got 2 matches goalless. I mean, that was very, very, very bad. And Liverpool, I said it on the show last night that, as it is said in P language, I hope you understand. Meaning, if one person gets full, the whole community is hungry.
Of course.
There's no happiness in the society.
Okay.
So at least Liverpool won their match yesterday. We are happy they won. We, the Ghanaians, we are happy at least. They shouldn't feel too sad behind us. We want them to be a little happy, be enthusiastic a little that, oh, we've won so much, so we can still keep pushing. At least we all be happy that they are winning, because with this money that they spend and they are going drought like that, it's not too nice. And Chelsea too, yesterday, their boys did the job for them. That's nice. At least they have some future behind. Chelsea, for the past few years, Chelsea are really, really working on the young boys recruitment and then the academic style. I mean, it's good. I was looking at the squad they used yesterday, and they were able to humiliate Ajax like that. But what's wrong with Ajax now, Nathan?
Ajax, they have their own problems going on.
That's too bad, though. Charlie, they are losing like that. It's not nice. Ajax is not a small team.
Yeah, well, yeah,
it's not a small team.
But they don't have as much quality as they used to have.
No. The way they are going, they are not making some of us happy. It's not good at all.
What is your interest? What is your interest with Ajax?
Oh, my interest is, one of our boys came through that side.
Uh-huh.
So if your former team is going just a few years ago, less than 3 years, they were all right. You understand?
Yes.
And now they are losing. Look at the big Dutch names in the past.
Mm-hmm.
They all came through Ajax.
Yeah, that's
Ajax had a big record, good history. So if they are doing this, they should just look at the team very well and try to do something. And good morning to Mr. Banson, wherever he is.
Okay.
Yesterday, we enjoyed the interview with Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get, he didn't open the phone lines for us to get through, but it's all right.
Okay,
wonderful. We're still enjoying the show. So good morning to everybody.
Okay.
My fellow colleagues. I greet them all.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for the call, Anobu. 8:17. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. Let's take a few calls and then we can get into the Champions League conversation. I'll be running the full results sheet by you in a bit. All right, let me take this caller. Hello.
Yeah, hi. Good morning.
Good night. Yes, sir.
Charlie, what's up?
Yeah, I'm cool. How are you?
Charlie, my name is Seth from Patrick.
Okay, please go ahead.
Charlie, yeah, Liverpool, I think kudos to them. They've done well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the great mother they can always win the money. That's good. But then one thing that the coach has to do with work on Montella. He's too selfish. Yeah, it's true that sometimes you want to score. Yesterday, you should have given.
This is Sporty FM, the voice of sport.
Hello. Hello. Oh, our line did him dirty there. Anyway, this is still the Sporty Breakfast. Last night was a very interesting night in the UEFA Champions League. Very, very interesting results coming in. Teams were scoring 5 and all of that. As for Monaco and Atalanta, they managed to get themselves involved in 2 goalless draws. Quite interesting. Well, Monaco will be happy. They've gone through another Champions League game without defeat, but it means 2 games back-to-back without a win. They drew with Man City the other day, and now they drew last night with Tottenham Hotspur in what I choose to call the Eric Dyer derby. Your WhatsApp comments are welcome. 054-257-1061, 054-257-1061. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. I don't know if we have space for one more call, but yes, you can send in your WhatsApp messages. 054-257-1061, 054-257-1061. In terms of the UEFA Champions League, in terms of the UEFA Champions League, the full results, Athletic Bilbao 3, Karabakh 1, Bilbao getting themselves a win at home. Galatasaray, they beat Bodo Glimt by 3-1. Victor Osimhen got himself 2 goals on the day. Brilliant stuff from Victor Osimhen. Really doing well for himself at Galatasaray. Atalanta and Slavia Prague played out a goalless draw. Really strange result, if you ask me. Strange results. They couldn't break them down in that one. Atalanta had Ademola Lookman starting in there, and he came on, or he was replaced by Kamaldeen Sulemana. It just didn't work for Atalanta last night. And other results as we continue. Bayern Munich, they put 4 past Club Brugge. Harry Kane getting on the score sheet there. And then Nicholas Jackson also scoring. Interesting stuff there. Nicholas Jackson's parent club, Chelsea, they beat Ajax Amsterdam by 5-1. And the interesting part is that Chelsea did not get a red card. So I guess that's the news. Chelsea didn't get a red card. So that is the news. That is the news from that particular one. And then you had Eintracht Frankfurt losing by 5-1 against Liverpool. Frankfurt took the lead. Liverpool fought back to respond. Hugo Ekitike scoring against his former side and, getting the others on the score sheet. Virgil van Dijk was on the score sheet. Ibrahima Konate was on the score sheet as well. Cody Gakpo and Dominic Szoboszlai, all of them on the score sheet. Mo Salah started off the bench. It was an interesting decision to start Mo Salah off the bench from a Liverpool perspective. And then it was Monaco 0, Tottenham 0. Monaco getting a goalless draw at the Stade Louis, and they are unbeaten in their last two. So that makes it 2 games unbeaten in the Champions League, but it's just 2 points out of a potential 6 for Monaco. And then it was Real Madrid 1, Juventus 0. Jude Bellingham getting the goal there, and everybody knows I love Jude Bellingham, so I'm happy to see him back in the team. And the Sporting Club de Portugal, or popularly called Sporting Lisbon, even though the natives dislike that name, the Sporting Club, they beat Olympique de Marseille by 2-1. Marseille took the lead in that game. He got Pechal, and then it went south. Sporting Club coming back to score twice and to win the game. My guys are here. I have a changed set. Michael Asaibedu is the only constant in this starting three that we've put together as head coach. I've named the starting three. Michael keeps his place in the starting three. Michael, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Yes.
It's fulfilling to hear that I am the constant in the trial that you select on any given day. I am privileged and I'm blessed.
That's it. Michael is the constant. The 2 debutants, we've been warming, they've been doing preseason. Now they are back. They are in the squad. Emmanuel Ayamga is joining us. Emmanuel, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. But Nathan, you need to put me on the right wing. I want to cut in and then, cut in and kill one.
Are you left-footed?
I'm right-footed.
Yeah, but we can't put you on the right. If you put you on the right wing, you play direct.
My left is very good. I'm like Ronaldo. I shoot with both foot.
You didn't know that?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm that good.
We didn't know. Now I'm coming. I'll back.
You could put me on striker. It's a striker, but David. What type of striker? Is it the Lukaku type or or the Hurricane type? Are you able to link up?
Tap easy.
Back in the day, for those who are a little old, Michael, I don't know if you remember. Remember the ASEC Mimosa striker Abdoulaye Traore?
Yeah.
Abdoulaye, do you know what he used to do? He used to spend his time only eating. He didn't train a lot, but he ate a lot to bulk up and to be bullying defenders.
He was big.
He was a barely center forward. Very, very difficult player to play against. You can ask the Asante Kotoko players. When they had their infamous clash with Ajax, he was causing them problems all through. Wow. And he played for the Ivorian national team. He won an AFCON with them in '92.
I want to send this picture to Fly.
If we can show Abdullah.
I would like to see him.
Tough guy.
Yeah, striker, but there.
Hey, like tough guy. Really, really difficult player to play. He, Joel Thierry and Co. They played for the Côte d'Ivoire team that denied Ghana from winning an AFCON in 1992. And yeah. Anyway, 8:24. Guys, last night was a good night in terms of the Champions League. I haven't calculated the goals though, because Tuesday was 43. Has anybody done the count?
No, I haven't, but we can quickly do that. Okay. As you go on.
71 goals.
Over the 2 match days.
Yeah, 2 match days. Yesterday was like 28 and then 43.
Okay.
On Tuesday.
Okay, so yesterday wasn't as prolific as Tuesday. But anyway, some of the games were high scoring. Let's look at the first high scoring one. Chelsea 5, Ajax 1. It was an interesting game. Enzo Maresca decided to change his squad. Let's not forget, Chelsea have a few injury issues. Cole Palmer, he's out for a bit. But Chelsea changed their team. They had Jorgensen in post, a back four of Hato, Adarabioyo, Fofana, and Caicedo. Caicedo started at right back yesterday. Enzo Fernandez played, and Romeo Lavia, who in the last few days is now being portrayed as Ghanaian, also featured in the team. Jamie Gittins, Estevao, Buonanotte, and Maguire started for Chelsea in that encounter. Michael, let me take your thoughts, and then I'll take Nana Kwame's thoughts as well. Very interesting game. Chelsea scored from the spot. Was it 3 times or two different penalties? 3 different penalties? Two penalties. Yes. Enzo Fernandez and Willian Estevao. And in the end, so listen, that's Abdoulaye Traore. Right here, striker. Hey, look at the tie. That's Abdoulaye Traore. For those who are wondering who we are talking about,
He looks like a guy who can shoot.
He was a difficult centre forward. Very difficult centre forward. Very physical. Brilliant goal scorer. Michael, back on track. Your thoughts on Chelsea's 5-1 win over Ajax Amsterdam yesterday in the Champions League. And the breaking news is that Chelsea didn't get a red card.
Exactly. So we thank God. I think there's this Akabeneza rendition of Tumi Inayo. They said Tumi Inara. So we thank God for that. But on a more serious note, I think it was the ideal opponent and then the right stage. The right stage in the sense that this was a game Chelsea were playing at the Stamford Bridge. And if you check how Maresca has built this Chelsea team, they've developed a certain mindset that they need to make the most out of the home matches. And so, irrespective of the opponent that they host at the Stamford Bridge, Chelsea tries to go all out to get a result against them. And then against Ajax, the ideal opponent in the sense that it looks like whatever Johnny Heitinga wants to do with this Ajax team is not seeing the light of day. They are not getting the results as they are supposed to get to. But what makes it more miserable has to do with the inconsistent performances. Ajax have been just delivering in flashes. They give you a good performance today, and then the next day they are off. They become like the proverbial light switch. You can turn it on and off as and when. And I think things are not going well for them as you expect. They don't even have the quality in terms of a playing body to mount a sustained level of performances. And against Chelsea, I knew that it could offer Maresca variety of stuff. One has to do with the rotation. Chelsea had players who had exerted themselves for a consistent period, and checking with the team and how they exerted themselves during the Club World Cup, they will need to manage the load on the squad at a point in time. And so, judging by the opponent and the stage, it afforded Maresca that luxury of rotating a squad, and especially when João Pedro was also absent from this game due to suspension, it meant that they could still go with a new setup, which will still allow them to deliver, judging by the quality of the opponent that they were facing. So as you rightly mentioned, in the attacking lineup, there was Facundo Buonanotte, there was Estevao Willian, Jamie Bino Gittins, and then Maguire up front. If you look at the 5 goals that Chelsea scored, 3 of them came from teenagers. At a point in time, Maguire thought he had set a new record. Then Estevao Willian had to break it. In between, then there was also Tyreek George complimenting and then doing whatever he also had to contribute. It made it all beautiful and summed up Chelsea's team and then the squad that the sporting directors have built. They are a squad brimming with potential, relatively inexperienced, but they proved that they could do a job on a typical European night when they have to beat some of the lowly ranked teams of the non-performing teams. And in Maresca's books, this will look like a very successful experiment, and it will give him the confidence to go ahead into future games and trust any of these young players to deliver what they want to. But I would just want to single out Estevao and then praise him this morning. I think that he's a gem. He's a natural entertainer, and he's a player, albeit very young. It looks like he's destined for greatness. The start of his Stamford Bridge career looks so perfect. Nobody will believe you if you tell him for the first time that there's a player who is having his first stint at an European club, a player who is so inexperienced and uninitiated when it comes to European football, a player who has not played even up to 5 matches in the UEFA Champions League. But I think it is about the environment Chelsea have created around him. They want to ensure that he feels right at home. There was a time where I read, I think the rumor mill that Todd Bowley had instructed Chelsea's graphics designers and their creatives to make sure that there is a deliberate attempt to put the face of Estevao out there. They want to make him popular, but then again, there's a commercial reason behind this. He comes from Brazil, and Brazil has one of the largest economies in South America and also in the world. And so if they are looking at projecting the image of Estevao Willian, there is a certain commercial interest attached to it. And it all fits the bill. Let him play, let him deliver, start him in games like this, make sure he scores, and then put his image out there. And Chelsea will cash in. So it is a shrewd move from the Chelsea team, from the commercial point of view and the footballing point of view. I think they are using Estevao in the right ways, and it is bringing the desired results. So kudos to the team. But then again, Enzo Fernandez is proving something, and I think he does not really get the mention that he deserves. If you look through the Chelsea team, and then even for most of the midfielders in the game now, he has delivered 10 goals, 10 assists for Chelsea in 2025. And I don't think any midfielder comes close to that number. And I think it is what has also gingered someone like Caicedo to also seek for some of these goal-scoring opportunities and aim attempts. And yesterday he did. The time he got the ball, the entire crowd was shouting, shoot, and he had to oblige, and he took a shot and yielded a goal for Chelsea. Chelsea are enjoying good moments, and it looks like they've carried off perfectly from where they left it off in that game against Liverpool. Went for the international break, they bounced back, and they want to continue. Very, very positive. A good result against the right opponent, enough to build the confidence of this team as they pursue excellence in this season. So, thumbs up to Chelsea. It was a very, very
interesting thoughts. Nana Kwame Labi, did you think, when you saw the starting 11, did you think Chelsea could get the job done? Were there concerns that this team was probably a bit too young on the average to play this, Champions League group game?
It was neither here or there, to be honest, because just like Sarbodu said, this is an Ajax team that hasn't really been consistent recently. And then when you look into the squad, I mean, some of the players so far have shown us that they can do the job. I mean, Bonanote, for example, anytime he's been called in, he comes up and gives us maybe a 7.6, almost 8 rating kind of performance. So when I saw the lineup, the only time I was a little disturbed was when I saw Caicedo at right back. I mean, he's been doing a lot in the midfield. He's been really, really solid. I mean, recently he's been playing so many games, and I was really scared that playing as right back, that's a lot of work to do. I mean, trying to defend, moving in there to he almost feel like an inverted midfielder yesterday. But I mean, as right back, he also be required to make a few runs here and there. So that was what I was afraid of, because you need your strongest man in some of the biggest games. And one of the strongest people in this particular Chelsea squad is Caicedo. So when I saw my right back, I was a little worried. Again, it made sense because yes, Gusto was out because he had a little illness and he couldn't play. Rhys James was too much of a risk to play in this particular. I'm serious. I mean, even though yes, people say he's back, he's banging in goals, giving assists and all of that. I think he's still being protected in some way.
You don't think we'll ever get a time where we'll have Rhys James play a full season?
Definitely, I think we'll get there. But I mean,
for now, you think he should be managed?
I think he should be managed, and that's what a good squad does for you. I mean, you have Gusto on the other side who also could come in and most of the time give you an above average performance. I mean, Gusto is not as bad as people think he is. I mean, people think he's not really up there, but I mean, in the EPL, we are talking about people who give you like a very an okay performance. Gusto is in there, so that's
don't mind those people. They haven't met Diego Dalot yet.
so that's what
met Diego Dalot. Do I appreciate Malo Gusto.
Exactly. So that's what a good squad depth will do for you. So when I saw the squad, I thought, I mean, this is an okay team that could get you, a good result in this game. But the booster for me in that particular game was when I saw Estevao playing on the right wing. I mean, this guy has proven to all of us, or all Chelsea fans, that given the right opportunities, given the consistency, he could be one of Chelsea's most dangerous players, especially on that right wing. Yesterday, I praised him for a few things. I praised him for making the right decisions yesterday. Yesterday, you could see that he wasn't trying to do too much when the situation called for not trying to do too much. So yesterday, when he had to cross, he crossed the ball. When he had to pass, he passed the ball. When he had to cut in and shoot, he did that. And that's what a player with an elite mentality shows you. You know that with the right coaching, with consistency, he's going to seal his place at the right wing easily. So he was the booster for me in that particular lineup. Aside that, I saw Tosin come back after the injury, and it was quite unfortunate that he had to concede a penalty. I was very disappointed because honestly, when the season started, Tosin was one of the players that I was really expecting to more or less just slot into that central defensive role, be the leader up there, and then show us that yes, we have good squad depth, even with the exclusion of Kowo, who's out injured. But so far, it's like anytime he comes in there, there's this sloppiness in his game. I mean, he's quite slow. He's not really putting in the tackles, misplaced passes here and there. Yesterday was just a little of what we've been seeing so far from him this season. I mean, conceding very, very, silly penalties, being run by young strikers and young midfielders in the game. It was quite unfortunate that Tosin had to be the one. But I still have hopes that Tosin will do better as time goes on. Let's not forget he's been struggling a little injury problems and all of that. So he needs that time. And he needs that morale from his coach and his teammates to be able to bounce back to be the Tosin that we all know him to be. I'd like to give credit to one more person, Mark Gui. So this is a player who was on loan. He was recalled after Jackson went to Bayern. And then as if that was not enough, Delap also got injured. And then we now had to rely solely on João Pedro. Now, Gui, since coming in, has really proven that with given the right opportunity, given the trust by Enzo Maresca, he could be that decoy for a striker. I mean, he likes to press very, very high. He's very good when it comes to pressing as a striker. And yesterday, you could see it all. I mean, he found himself in a very good position to just tap that ball in. And that's what I think Chelsea needs in a striker right now. A striker who not only just wait for the ball to come, somebody who also start defending from attack. You understand? So big shouts to Gui as well. I think he also was amazing. So the squad, yes, it was neither here or there, but I mean, the red card helped us a lot.
Wonderful. Michael, just concluding words on this. I've read some comments attributed to Enzo Maresca talking about Willian Estevão and his prediction, or he thinks that ultimately Estevão will end up in the middle of the park as a 10, just like Cole Palmer. What do you make of that? Do you think it's something that is on the cards? It's something that is likely to happen? When you look at Estevão, it may be early to predict, but does he have the tendencies of a player who could function very well as a number 10? Okay, I think Michael is muted. Michael, I think you've muted yourself.
All right, I think it's okay now.
Yes, it is.
Yep. So as I was saying, yes, he's a player who can be molded. One, he's raw. He's someone who hasn't really been bothered with a lot of tactics. Probably at Palmeiras, primarily, he was allowed the free role to do exactly as he wanted. But at Chelsea, he would need to be guided. He would need to be tutored. And as young as he is, that is the right time for a coach to imbibe in the player some of these principles of play, and especially the technical understanding to operate in positions that the coaches expect to use him. So he's at Chelsea at the right age, and it allows for any coach to work with him based on what he wants to. And you look at Estevão and the potential that he has. He gives the Chelsea fans glimpses of what could be on offer in the future. For instance, Chelsea have seen players like Gianfranco Zola, Eden Hazard, the good days of Joe Cole before his injury, and eventually he went off. The likes of Eden Hazard, Damien Duff. It is either these are players who are troubling you from the flanks or from the middle. And I think Estevão is cutting that mode. He's a player who cannot be restricted in terms of his positioning. He can operate on the flanks, but also his ability to read situations and operate in silky moments means that he can also do a solid job from such midfield positions, similar to Cole Palmer. If you check out Maresca has used Cole Palmer, he's primarily played him through the middle, but there are times where he's been given a role to occupy on the right flank and then also seldomly at the left flank. So it means that he's versatile and it all feeds into his technical intelligence. He's able to understand or appreciate whatever the coach wants him to do, and then he's able to do that. I think it is similar for Estevao. It might not be up to the level of Palmer yet, but it gives you such vibes that one is a player who listens, two is a player who is tactically disciplined, and three is like a cup that you have to fill. And his cup is like 1/4 full. So there is a lot that you can add to his game. And to me, he fits that profile. So it wasn't surprising to hear from Maresca that he would love to use him in such positions. I only hope and pray that the player will be able to grasp it in the shortest possible time and then deliver as the manager expects.
Well, we'll see what happens. Chelsea picking up 3 points on the night. Let's go to Madrid, where Real Madrid got themselves a 1-0 over Juventus. As the game was going on and it was still goalless, I just kept saying that, what if Juventus go and score first? What if they score first? What if they score first? And then Real Madrid got that breakthrough. Jude Bellingham there, and he started in a very interesting position. He started up top with Kylian Mbappe, right? So Real Madrid had Courtois in post, had Carreras, Asensio, Eder Militao, and Fede Valverde. And then you had Vini, Goulet, Tchouaméni, Diaz, with Jude Bellingham playing off Kylian Mbappe. Emmanuel Ayamga, your thoughts on this? Real Madrid winning 1-0 and picking up 3 points at home.
I think ultimately it was a deserved win for Real Madrid, but I think they were treading cautiously for long spells because in the first 15 minutes it was Juventus who were having the clearer chances. They tested Courtois about 3 times and he was up to the task. So I think if they had conceded first, it would have been a more difficult game for them. But I think they have the experience to weather the storm when things go like this. And Real Madrid, they are Real Madrid. So obviously the experience is there. You look at the players that they fielded. And that front three of Vinicius, having Arda Güler, it was a very attacking lineup. Arda Güler was there. You had Vinicius. You had Mbappe, who is in the form of his life currently at Real Madrid. So I expected a lot of goals. But I think they took time to get going. In the beginning, they were struggling to get into their rhythm. And Juventus were the ones who were rather probing and taking the game to Real Madrid. But I think the most profound thing about yesterday's game was the fact that Real Madrid didn't panic even when things were not going their way in the first half. I saw a team that knew that they would get their moments. And, even on Ancelotti before Xabi Alonso came, they are a team that plays in moments, and they knew that no matter how bad they play, they will have their moments and they will have the players to finish off those moments. And it came when the Juventus players just allowed Vinicius to be dancing around. I was so surprised that he had the ball for that long and nobody closed him down. He was just going around, dribbling his way through, and nobody stopped him until he shot, the goalkeeper saved, and then Bellingham was there to tap in, which is typical Bellingham. You want to see him in the box because he's the kind of guy who gets goals. And I think they've missed him because in the time where he was injured, there were times where they were struggling a bit. And you look at how they played over the weekend when they beat Getafe 1-0. They struggled in that game as well. So if you are Madrid and you are winning this game, of course, you'll be delighted to have your team win 3 games out of 3 in the Champions League. But for Juventus, I think Igor Tudor has work to do, because they started the season brilliantly. They beat Parma, they beat Genoa. And I remember that 4-3 win against Inter Milan, where they score, Inter Milan score, they take the lead, they equalize, and then they score. And they won that game 4-3. And I thought that was a turning point for Juventus in the season. Unfortunately, since that game, they've not won. Before this game, they had gone 6 games without winning a single one, including over the weekend when they lost to Como. So it's been a very tough season for Igor Tudor and his players.
You mentioned that result, and you're right. Since then, they have not won a game.
They've not won a game, which is
5 draws and a loss,
which is very terrible for a club of Juventus stature. So
it's crazy, man.
I looked at them, and but then you look at the players that they have as well. Dusan Vlahovic has struggled, but he used to be one of the toast of fans. At a point, he was. People were saying he was the next Haaland. Teams were bidding, and there was a bidding war for him. We didn't know whether he was going to United, he was going to Chelsea, or even Arsenal. Even Liverpool at a point were mentioned as a club that wanted him. And then all of a sudden, the goals have dried up. Then you have Weston McKennie, who had a bright start to the game. He tested Courtois a couple of times in the first half against Madrid, but I think collectively, even Yildiz also, has had this moment this season, and I think he's been the brightest spot in this Juventus team. But I think collectively they've just not gelled, and the more they continue, to drop points and not win games, I mean, it will be worrying. And for Igor Tudor, I don't know if there are options out there that Juventus would like to go for. But currently, I think the results are not good enough. In the Champions League, they've not won a single game in 3.
Yeah.
And if you are Juventus, you need to be worried because obviously they've drawn 2 and lost 1, which is against Madrid. But if you look at the teams that they've played, you are expecting them to pick up points.
They played that crazy 4-4 with Dortmund a few weeks ago.
And then even against Villarreal,
And
they
then
were ahead at some point. So it looks like they are able to score sometimes, but they are not able to keep the lead. And in games that they don't score, you just find them they are scattered about. You don't know what they want to do, whether they are playing in a 3-back system or a 4-back. They don't really. I don't know where they are going with what they are doing. But I think yesterday there were some positives that they can take because they can say maybe they played Real Madrid and Real Madrid are, the royalty of the Champions League. But if you are Juventus, obviously you want to give Real Madrid a very good game. And I think in the beginning it looked like they were going to do it. And if they are score first, like I said earlier, I think they would have won. But all true for Real Madrid, they have to take this as a good win because you look at the injury list, a lot of players are injured. And then you have Carvajal also suspended for this game. So they came into the game with about 6 or 7 injuries, and yet they were able to weather the storm and still win. So I think it's a good win for Madrid. 3 wins from 3 in the Champions League. It doesn't get any better than that.
Now, if you're a Real Madrid fan and you looked at last night, where does it leave you ahead of the Clásico?
Well, the thing about the Clásico is it's mostly not about current forms. I mean, these two teams, whenever they meet, they put form somewhere, and then it's just pure rivalry. We are here to try and get the 3 points or get the win for ourselves. But it's not looking too good, honestly, for a team like Real Madrid. I mean, yesterday they had numerous opportunities to be leading by 2 or 3 goals, but they missed. Or Militao got a shot. And I mean, he was the wrong person. He was just the wrong person to have met that ball. After Mbappe had done all the magic and just laid the pass to him, he just ballooned the ball right over the bar. So it leaves them in a very a very not so sure moment against Barcelona, who a few days ago thrashed the team they played against. Yes. They thrashed them by 6-1, Charlie. And that's a statement win going into the El Clasico. So Charlie, it's a little shaky. I want to say one more thing. I think Juventus, just like Ayamga said, they had their moments. I mean, Openda, getting to the end of the game, Openda got a chance. It was supposed to be a one-time shot thing. I don't know why he took that touch, and then eventually the defender came and blocked the shot. Also, there was this counter-attack, I think, early in the second half. I don't remember who it was, but I think Vlahovic or something. He ran, I think it was Vlahovic, right? Yeah. He ran from his half, and I'll give props to Militao. If I were to be that defender, I would be defender at that particular moment. We trying a long time. But he was patient. He watched him and he tracked around, and then Courtois, I mean, the man for the big occasions, came in. So it was Juventus' game to at least take out a point in that game. Honestly, they had the opportunity to get at least a point in that game, but unfortunately, I mean, Juventus being Juventus, 6 games without winning one.
6 games, five draws and a loss.
Charlie, it's looking like Udinese instead of Juventus.
Michael, does it? I guess the loss doesn't do anything to help Igor Tudor and the ultimatum he's been giving because it's been a very horrible run for them. 5 draws. Two of them, I think, in the Champions League. Yeah. And it's just not coming together at all. Ever since they beat Inter Milan 4-3, 4-4 Dortmund, 1-1 with Verona, 1-1 with Atalanta, 2-2 with Villarreal. Then they drew goalless in the Derby d'Italia against AC Milan. And then over the weekend, they lost 2-0 to Como. Are we getting to the end for Igor Tudor, Michael?
The answer to your question will come from the press conference that ensued the game against Real Madrid yesterday. He was asked the question, and what he told the press was that he wanted intellectual honesty. He wanted them to break things down and analyze because their 6-game winless streak had a contest to it. It was not just like they showed up, they were so bad, and then they lost all the games. So he wanted them to break everything down and then look for the devil in the details. Again, he made a remark to them during the pre-match presser, where he said he doesn't read the papers. But I want to say one thing to Igor Tudor. in Italy, they do take their newspapers very seriously.
They do.
And it's the reason the Gazzetta dello Sport, the Corriere dello Sport, looks like it's a booming business. And they are thriving in this era. Clearly, they do pay attention to the drama. And Juventus is one club that actually contributes to the drama. They pay a lot of attention to what happens in the media. For a long period, Massimo Allegri had to battle the media's narrative that he was anti-Juventus in terms of how he was running the club and setting his team to play football matches. They wanted a more adventurous side, a side that played very exciting football, attacking-minded. And Allegri kept telling them that they always needed to find that balance. It did not yield. It did not succeed. Eventually, Allegri had to leave. That was what led them to bring on Thiago Motta. The early days were so positive. Then they started their own thing again. Juventus looks like they don't understand the word transition, both in terms of the sporting direction and then the technical direction. They brought on board Christian Guintoli. They decided to do some recruitment to make a projection into the future. So the project was like for the medium term, longer term future, which means 3 years, 5 years. In less than a season, Christian Guintoli has left. Then again, we are looking at Thiago Motta and now Igor Tudor, 2 coaches. So what happened to the medium-term future they promised? What happened to the long-term future? So Tudor himself should understand that this is a club that does not have enough time and patience for a coach who is not simply getting the results. And I think it is their biggest problem. There's been far too many changes to the Juventus team in recent past that they don't have stability. If you look through the squad now, carefully study, I don't know the last player who was part of the last squad that won them the Scudetto. It was Danilo. Eventually, he's been booted out. All the players existing now, maybe, I don't know for Locatelli, but clearly they are all newbies and have not been at Juventus beyond 6 seasons, which is not good for any Serie A club that wants to challenge for the top trophies. If you go to Inter, you'll find players who've played consistently for them for a certain period. If you go to AC Milan, you will likely find some faces in there for consistency basis. But if it comes to a Juventus, it is a deep and an entirely different story. So yes, if you assess their squad list, they have exciting players in there. They attack. Kenan Yildiz, you have Lois Openda, you have Jonathan David, you have a lot of players, Dusan Vlahovic. But if you piece them together, you struggle to find who are the best set to start a game. You don't know whether on this day, let me go for Vlahovic or Jonathan David. You don't know whether Openda can come in and start. You don't know whether it is Francisco Conceição or it is going to be Kenan Yildiz. They have a lot of options, but they don't have a settled team yet. And I think it is one of the reasons that affects the team in terms of consistency in performances and the results. They will eventually get there, but I don't think the results that they've recorded in this winless streak would help the case of Igor Tudor. And I think it won't be long if this persists that the club will be thinking about sacking him and appointing a new coach. Names have come up in the media again. Roberto Mancini's name is in the picture. A couple of other coaches are also there. Don't forget Luciano Spalletti, in the last job he did in the Serie A, won the Scudetto. So he's also available. Ideally, Juventus want to lure someone like Enzo Maresca or Zinedine Zidane on board. But judging by the environmental factors, I don't think either coach will want to go there now. So maybe they'll want to look at one of these Italian coaches to stem the slump. But the reason they are where they are is not just to the poor coaching of Igor Tudor. It is also the mismanagement of the club that has crept into the Juventus team now and the results that they are recording. And that is why they are where they are.
Well, you're spot on about Juve's mismanagement. It's a really sad story of a club with so much history, but it's been one bad decision after the other. You can say in the last, let's say you can even go back, let's say to the last 20 years, if you like, to the start. If you even go back, say to the year 2000, you can track from there. You could tell that it was just one error after the other. Calciopoli didn't help them. They had to reconstruct the team, and they've not had the patience to allow the team to evolve naturally. So they are paying the price for that. Let's talk about Liverpool. Liverpool finally won. And yesterday, Arne Slot did something that I didn't think he was ever going to do. He benched Mohamed Salah. Started with a team of Mamadashvili in post, a back four of Frimpong, Konate, Van Dijk, and Robertson. Robertson is back in the team. A midfield three of Soboslai, Jones, and Verts. Cody Gatto, Isak, and Ekitike. So it was a very, very interesting team, a strong team in an attacking sense. And they benched Mo Salah. Guys, was anybody surprised that happened?
I was not, honestly.
I was not.
Emmanuel, you were surprised.
I was.
Nana Kwame, you were
I was not.
Michael, were you surprised?
Oh, I'm one of the allowed to be benched. I wasn't.
Wow, interesting. Nana, let me start off with you. Your thoughts on this? Frankfurt 1, Liverpool 5. Liverpool finally winning a game after what, 5 attempts?
I think it was a game they had to win because it wouldn't be a good look, after losing 4 goals in a row and then getting a fixture like Liverpool against Frankfurt, and then you go ahead to lose. See, I'm one of the people I wish Liverpool would lose all their games the whole season. I'm not going to lie because already you remember the projections we did before the league started. I in my list, Liverpool is not in my top 4. I've received my fair share of slandering from people on Twitter and all that. So when they started losing their games, I just was rubbing it in their faces on social media. But I think Ancelotti did a good job in really taking the back seat and looking at what he needed to change in the game. For one, I agree with the decision to start Mo Salah off the bench. I mean, he's given so much for the club. He's given a lot. I mean, the past 2 or 3 seasons, 2, 3, 4 seasons, he's been arguably their best player. I mean, banging in goals and assists.
He's the main man.
Exactly, he's the main man. And you see, you can't keep giving 100% all the time, especially when you're playing in a very difficult league like the EPL, playing for a team like Liverpool who have fought so hard to put their names back on track as one of the best teams in England and the best teams in the world. You can't give 100%. That is why the team has the opportunity or has the liberty to sign in more players, to help players like Mo Salah, who are arguably at getting to the very end of their career in the EPL. So it just made sense that you give the old man a break. I'm using old man in the context of how long he's been there and what he's done for them. Give him a break. Let him recoil into his shell, watch the game from a different perspective, and then come back as a Mo Salah that we all know. I honestly think that Mo Salah will not be the Mo Salah we've known in the past 4 or 5 years. He's getting old. His the football will change. Football styles change. Different managers. He's also human. He also needs to adapt. So Ancelotti did a very good job in starting off the bench. Besides that, a lot of people were calling for him to start Mo Salah off the bench. In the last game in the EPL, you could see that he was off color. He was just not Mo Salah. So Ancelotti did well, and the approach to the game, you could see that the mentality was different. You see that these players came to the pitch, told themselves that no matter what happens today, we are not leaving the pitch without a win. They considered first goal. I was releasing on social media. Just when I posted it, about 2 minutes later or a few minutes later, I went to check, and it was 2-1. I was like, Charlie, this thing there for delete. But if I delete Yawa, because people take screenshots and you understand. So I think Ancelotti has really done well to put the team back on track. I mean, a fixture against Frankfurt. Let's not forget, Frankfurt is not a small team. Frankfurt is one of those teams coming up in Germany where they're beginning to show that yes, they can really rub shoulders with the big boys in Germany. And then breaking into the Champions League in itself is not a small feat. So I think Liverpool have done well. Ancelotti did the right things, and then getting your defenders to Konate of all people. Got 2 goals.
Konate and Van Dijk, sorry, one each.
You understand? So
and for a team that struggled with set pieces, it's surprising.
Exactly. Two from corners.
Exactly. So it's are we to believe that Liverpool and Ancelotti have now figured out a way to grind in the results? I think it was all one. There was some of the things that I pointed out in the last game. There was synergy in the last four games. There was no synergy. It's like, yes, all stars team, but they are still trying to figure out who's supposed to do this, who's supposed to do that, and all that. And I keep saying this: when Isak, who is now injured, is out with a groin injury, when Isak gets his rhythm back, Liverpool is going to be a very, very, very crazy team to play against. I mean, we've seen Florian Wirtz. I mean, people they troll him. Charlie, double 10, double. Now they call him Ben 10.
he had his first goal contribution yesterday.
Exactly, first goal contribution.
2 goals.
You understand? So as time goes on, these players will grow into the fact that you are not in a Leverkusen anymore. You're not in Newcastle anymore. You are now in Liverpool. Charlie, you for man up, level up. So I think Ancelotti eventually will get his rhythm back at the team. But me, I always say that this is the season that Ancelotti will be tested properly when it comes to his managerial traits.
Well, he's being tested now.
Exactly. Yeah. I said this in the beginning of the season that yes, he came into a team where there was some. I mean, Klopp had done all the groundwork. The team were playing some kind of motivation. He came in, used the same format, and then they won the league last season. Now it's up to you to bring in your own players and show that yes, you are actually tactically up there, and you can rub shoulders with the main coaches. I think that's why he's struggling. Charlie, new players, bro,
because he's had to bring in Frimpong's new,
who's also injured by the way.
Florian Wirtz
he got injured yesterday.
Higo Ekitike is new. Alexander Isak is new. They lost Jota sadly. Luis Diaz has moved on.
Exactly.
Then Milos Kerkez. So it's very complex. Almost like you are reconstructing in real time as you go along.
But I think what did the trick for them yesterday was the balance of the team. I think Ancelotti realized that you can't play every player. And like I said, I was surprised. I didn't think he had it in him, honestly. I didn't think so. I saw him as a coach who hasn't proven that he can bench some of the big names. A big name like Salah, for instance. He has not been performing well in recent times, but I thought probably he will go with, okay, let me rely on him because last season he was very clutch for them. And Salah is the kind of player who will not really involve himself in the game, but when the time comes for him to score, last season he was doing it for them regularly. This season it has not really come up for him, and I can understand why yesterday he didn't start him, and I think it was justified, having Isak and Ekitike play off each other, because I think in the long term, this is the strike force that he wants to assemble. These are they bought them for big money. You can't keep them on the bench. What I am concerned about is forcing it, because I think last week I said here that I thought he was trying to shoehorn Isak into the team when we all know he's lost about 2 months because of the whole
back forth
when the transfer was ongoing. So he lost a lot, and even reflected in his performance for Sweden. Because he's not much fit. He's not trying to warm himself into the team and all that. So I was thinking in the beginning he was trying to force it and push Isak into the starting lineup. But I think if he eases him in, it will help. And you have players like Salah there, you have Gakpo, so he can switch in between who he plays in the front 2 or front 3, depending on what formation he wants to play. But I think it was yesterday was a good win for them. When they went down, just like Nana Kwame said, I was thinking, okay, this is another day. But I think they showed strong mentality and. You look at the character of the team. It looked like a team that really wanted to put things right. They were like, not today. I mean, they've lost. There were games that were very, even like the United game. It was a very close game. United won and have had all the praise and all that. But I think on another day, Liverpool could have, taken a draw, even won that.
Because at 1-1, look, that game could have.
It could have turned.
It could have easily been 3-1, 4-1 Liverpool. But
they hit the post how many times? 3 times, 4 times.
Gakpo had a free header.
And on another day he will score that goal because he's very good with his head. So I think it was a good result for them winning that big. And I don't hope, but I think it will translate. I don't.
Nice to Liverpool.
Yeah, let me be nice to them. I hope they will be able to translate that into the Premier League, because I think this should be the turning point for them. I don't think all is well with them now, because obviously they need to. Against tougher position, they will need to readapt and show that they can do it. And I don't think that Frankfurt tested them aerially.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's the problem they faced. And if the fact that they were rather scoring aerial goals should tell you that Frankfurt also have a deficiency when it comes to the aerial balls. So I want to see them tested more in the Premier League. And it starts this weekend. We'll see what they will do. But I think it was a good win for them.
How to see them lose.
They go to Brentford. Michael, let me bring you in. Somebody made a comment somewhere, and I found that comment to be really interesting concerning Mo Salah and the Liverpool team. The person said that the team as started by Arne Slot last night is the team that is the Liverpool team with Mo Salah away, i.e. on the bench or when he permanently leaves. So the comment was that Mo Salah is looking at this future Liverpool team, and it's almost like unconsciously Slot has gathered a team without Mo Salah, but he's playing Mo Salah in a team that will not have Mo Salah in a few years. What do you think? It's a very crazy analogy, but when I think about it, it does make some sense.
True.
And I was on a TikTok live session yesterday, right after the game, and I said exactly the same thing. Starting lineup and then the option selected in advanced midfield clearly told how the future would be like without Mo Salah. And Slot was trying to make everyone understand that whatever thing that Liverpool is doing, especially regarding their recruitment during last summer, borders more on the future than the present. And people would have to be a bit patient with their expectations and everything. It's understandable when you splash the cash, like you break the €100 million barrier for two players in a single transfer window. If you splash the cash heavy, you bring in some exciting players. Many expect that they will start to deliver from the onset. But what he did yesterday was a glimpse of how the future would be like. It's unfortunate that conditions were not ideal regarding how the players joined. I think the player who really was ready for the Liverpool takeoff was Higuaín Ekitike. Personally, he embarked on his own physical training sessions before he joined them for pre-season. For Alexander Isak, it's much more of a different story. So I think, yes, they do not really have ideal conditions to bring on board all these players, and it would take them some time. But it is to just portray that Salah just has some few years to be part of this Liverpool pool. Maybe after this season, he will think about leaving. Just monitor his demeanor in the aftermath of the game. When the Liverpool players decided to applaud the jubilant away side after the game, Salah did that momentarily, and then he decided to exit, left the rest of the team, and went straight to the dressing room. If I was Salah, I'll be asking myself a lot of questions. And the body language also gave that hint. Am I not good enough? Why am I not getting the results or the performances I could deliver last season? He will be worried himself personally. He's not been started in back-to-back UEFA Champions League. And they have all been away matches. Away at Galatasaray, away at Frankfurt. Clearly, he will not be happy. But these are things that the big players do, and then they find solutions to bounce back. If truly Salah belongs in that bracket, I know personally he wants to task himself with what he needs to do in the immediate to correct some of the things that are wrong with his game to be in the position to bounce back. So it would be crucial that he finds an antidote, he finds a solution to whatever thing is affecting his form. Yesterday in the game, he had barely 20 minutes to enjoy, but you could tell that with the few minutes he had on it was not the Mo Salah we saw last season. He was struggling to find the right angles for shots. He was taking shots in a haste, and then when he had to pick a pass, he was actually trying to shoot. There was that fine moment that Salah would have enabled Florian Wirtz to get his first goal. He had an opportunity, and he could have just squared that ball to Florian Wirtz, and it gives him an easy tap in. But no, Mo Salah is not in the good form, and then he's also not in the right frame of mind. He's so eager to prove the point that he's not done yet. He decided to take a shot from a very unfavorable angle, and that did not score. What did he spell out? It spells out that these are not the finest moments for Salah psychologically and also on the field of play. He will contend with himself. It is likely that he will want to fight it, but if he's so dry that he's not successful in terms of fighting, eventually give in, and then that will be the end. I think he's more near his end at Liverpool than he is. Still want to get to the point that he belongs to this side, and it won't be long that everybody becomes aware of it. And I kept insisting, Slot should play his best side, and in selecting his best team, players like Salah will be sacrifices. They are not playing their best brand. They will be sacrificed. The argument for Wirtz is that in as much as he's not scoring, he's still an enabler. He's helping, he's facilitating the play of his Liverpool team. And yesterday, he provided 2 assists. There was also 1 pre-assist. Clearly, he is trying to affect the Liverpool team in a more positive way. It won't be as flamboyant or spectacular as a spell by Liverpool it will come in bits and pieces because the issue of adaptation and rotation. Liverpool was used to early. Liverpool needs to rotate to the profile that the coach is expecting. Adaptation, the environment, the terrain. He's confessed that the Bundesliga and then the Premier League, you compare the two, it is vastly different. The physical level, the intensity. So maybe he never expected it. And these are part of the adaptation. So adaptation and rotation take some time. You need to come to terms with what the demands are as regards the Premier League and what the demands are as regards Liverpool. But you can see that he's actually a very good player. So you can start him.
Okay.
And then you put it together. So yes, for Salah bet, as he said, I think Liverpool are now learning to play more without Salah than they will play with him.
Okay.
What's the future?
All right. Michael, we'll get back to your line. Your line is a little dodgy, so we'll get back to you on the other line. In the interim, if you are listening to the discussion, you can also send us your thoughts. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. I mean, the Mo Salah comment, I found it. I found that when I heard it, somebody said it, and I kept turning it over in my mind. And I said, it's actually a very interesting comment that it's almost like Anastot is building a team for the future without Mo Salah, but he's playing Mo Salah in this team. It was a very weird description. Yeah. But the more I thought about it, the more sense it made that it is true.
I think it makes sense. But for any coach, Mo Salah was Liverpool's best player last season, scored loads of goals, had the most goals in the Premier League, most assists. So obviously, even when he was angling for that 2-year deal and that big money, last final contract at Liverpool, I was one of those who said, give him everything he wants, because he's proving that he's logged in. Last season, if you look at his body shape and everything, the way he trains, and the way he was looking very, 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 very fit. So there was no indication that his form would drop. And if you know Mo Salah and the way he thinks, he's a mentality monster. He's a player.
But is he going through the struggles because he's dipped, or the system can't accommodate him, or things have changed?
I think when he was awarded with the PFA Player of the Year, when he went for the awards and they interviewed him and they asked him that Liverpool have bought a lot of players this year, and they said, comparing the team currently and the one that has, because a lot of players some of the players have left, and then you have the one that died as well, Jota. So he said no, they can't compare. He said nobody should compare the Premier League winners to players who are here to prove themselves. So it's obvious. I see from his demeanor that he enjoyed playing with the squad that was there last season and the previous years more than he is enjoying the ones that are there currently, because he now has to adapt to them. And Mo Salah has been the main man at Liverpool for the better part of the last 7 years. It's his team. Now that is not the case. He needs to seed the team to the younger players who are coming, and a new coach who knows that in the next 2 years probably will not have Mo Salah. So he has to also fashion a team that would look like his team that would play to the strengths of the players that are there. Now, if you are a coach and Mo Salah is not, he wouldn't be part of the team for the next 2 years. And Liverpool is a team that is very, very conscious about the future. Yeah. When they are signing players, when they are signing coaches, they don't think about just today. They think about the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And they know that Salah will not be there in the next 3 years. And that is why they didn't even want to give him the 2-year contract. They wanted to give him just one. And he didn't want it. And he pushed. And because of how he performed last season, you couldn't deny him the 2-year contract. He earned it with performances, with consistent goals and everything like that. So I don't know, but yesterday, something happened yesterday. He also deleted Liverpool from his profile on X, which was very surprising. Because Salah, I know Salah has an ego, Even you look at his issues with the Egyptian FA and all that. He's not a player that, takes things lightly. He can be a rebel if he wants to be. So, but I think he's now 33. You are not 23 years old anymore. I mean, you should be able to handle being on the bench. And like I said, Liverpool have been his team for the better part of the last 7 years and all that. But he also needs to understand. I think this is where Ronaldo was when he returned to United. Exactly. Ronaldo thought he was still the Ronaldo of old and deserved to play every single minute. But sometimes you need to understand that you are growing. You are 33 now. The coach has to manage your game time to be able to bring out the best in you. True. And sometimes you need help. And Liverpool have gone on and brought in help for you. You have Isak, you have Ekitike. These are players who can take off the load from you, take off the pressure from you, and allow you to, manage your minutes. Exactly. But Salah wants to play every minute. That's the problem. And if you are a coach, I think that's a dicey situation for you.
I think in the corner of, or somewhere in Salah's mind, he's at the level where he's contemplating trying football somewhere else. Like I said in my earlier submission, Charlie, Wayne has won the Champions League, won the Premier League twice. Charlie,
I guess now it's a matter of maybe trying to give it one more goal.
Exactly,
with the Champions League.
But that one more goal, he should understand that there's been reinforcement. There's been players who have done well in other teams and are now in here to make a mark. Yeah. So the coach or the coaching staff will probably decide to give these players the chance for them to also make a mark in the team. The fans are also seeing from a different perspective. Charlie, we have a Mo Salah who is tried and tested. He should be in the squad. But now, from the way Mo Salah is playing, you could tell there's this mental battle up there in his mind where he's asking questions. Do I really need to be here? I've done everything. I mean, I could go back to Italy. I could go and play for another team in the Premier League, or
he could go to the Middle East.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll go to Saudi. So I think it's an issue of him having like that mental battle up there and not really thinking about what really is going on. I'm honestly, I don't think Mohamed Salah is worried about his performance. No, I don't think he is.
You don't think
he is? But I think he is. And I think he will lock in midway through the season. I just feel like...
So it means that Mo Salah's integration in the team will come at somebody's expense.
Exactly.
But at what cost? Because if he says, for example, he starts to score. Let's say he starts to score. So what does it means that one of either Isaac, Ekitike, or Vet, one of these three will suffer if Mo Salah starts to hit form magically and he's scoring. I guess it leaves Anna Slot in a very complex place because, as you're saying, this team he's designing the team for life after Mo Salah. And this gentleman is delivering. What does he do?
What do you do?
There's a message here. Let me read this. Jones, my guy, can you please give me that message? My people.
Can you open this message for us? Yeah,
there's a message. Let me just read that and then we can quickly proceed. Touch on one or two things. We'll get in touch with Gary Al Smith, who's in Madrid. Jones says Salah is supposed to understand what is happening at Liverpool because Salah is 33. He cannot perform like the way he used to. So he's supposed to understand. I think that's what Jones is trying to say. Anyway,
and that's exactly what I was saying. Chairman, he just has to accept the fact that Charlie, my Yibi.
But you see, Charlie, he's the reigning Premier League player of the season. He scored like loads of goals last season. He was a clutch guy when they won the Premier League last season. So he feels like you don't lose it within the like 3 months.
No.
You don't lose that. So he feels like he's still the main man. But it has not come together for him yet. That's why I'm saying
it wasn't with this squad.
Yeah, that's
exactly
true. That's true.
So there's a learning process.
So he has to adapt to them now. I think that's where he's finding a bit of difficulty because he feels like he's been there all this while, and so they have to adapt to him.
I think you should take the L and move to another team.
But he just signed a 2-year contract.
He just signed a 2-year.
That one there, that's not my problem. See, I think I always say this. I think it will keep getting worse. That's how I see it. It will keep getting worse because the other players who are now in will also want the opportunity to show that I've joined Liverpool from let's say
and Anna Slot will have to make
exactly. It will keep getting worse.
These are big money buys. So he has to play them.
There's no money. There's no
Firmino.
There's no Fabinho in there. These are players that that they had his back. The team was built around these people. They left. Yes, he was still able to get in 20 plus goals a season and all that. Became the Premier League Player of the Year and all that. But Charlie. Yes, I'm Danny B.
Okay, all right, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Other results, we said Bilbao won 3-1. Iñaki Williams suffered an injury from a Ghanaian perspective. Not too good. Galatasaray, they beat Bodo Glimt 3-1. Victor Osimhen.
What a striker.
Yeah.
I need my Chelsea though.
What a striker.
Michael Asabredu has joined us on the other line. Michael, any thoughts on the other games? Bilbao winning, Galatasaray winning, Bayern Munich winning by 4-0. Yet another W for Company. Hello, Michael.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, Michael.
All right. So as I was saying, I think for Galatasaray, basically it has to do with the atmosphere they create at the Ali Samiyan Sports Complex. And a lot of teams have gone there and experienced him and never played their brand of football in a delightful manner because they make the atmosphere very intimidating for you. They call it hell for a reason. And it's hell for any away side. But for the home team, it is paradise with the way the fans back them, like being the 12 man pushing them to go ahead and then get the results that they want to get to. And it's fueled their success in the Champions League in this campaign. Again, if you check the games that they've played, their first game was an absolutely shambolic one. They lost 5-1 on the road to Eintracht Frankfurt, and they knew they would need their fans to see them through in difficult games against Liverpool and then Bodo Glimt. They are a tricky opponent. They are inexperienced as regards the Champions League, but if you study the UEFA interclub competitions for the last 2-3 seasons, they've been consistent performers in the lower ranked competitions like the Europa League and then the Conference League. They've built their way up to the top. So they play some very good brand of football. But I think the Galatasaray fans play a crucial role in shaping up the mood, the atmosphere, so that the players feed on it. And I think in a player like Victor Osimhen, he's a right player for such occasions. The fans drive him on, and he also spurs them on. And the two look to build some excellent synergy. Check how Osimhen was consistently pressing the Bodo Glimt team. First, you have to give credit to the Galatasaray coach, Boruk. I think they studied Bodo and knew that they would definitely build up from the back. And if they're able to affect their build-up in terms of how effectively they pressed, then they will win some loose balls from them, force some mistakes from them, and then they can punish them. So the first 2 goals that Galatasaray scored from similar circumstances. And it plays to the whole gallery that Galatasaray knew the opponent they were facing. It was at the right stadium, and then it was the right occasion. A very good win for them. Back-to-back wins in the Champions League, making sure they capitalize on their home games, and it is very positive. But I want to urge everybody to just take time and study the squad of this Galatasaray team. They have players who have been here, seen it, and done it. Leroy Sané, excellent for Schalke 04. Even during his time there, he was tormenting Real Madrid. His transfer to Manchester City built him up in terms of his profile in Europe. Then he went to Bayern Munich to top that up, and now he's at Galatasaray. Okay, Gundogan has seen it, he's won it with Manchester City, previously at Borussia Dortmund. Victor Osimhen himself for Lille, and now for Napoli, and now Galatasaray. They have experienced players who have played for some of the top sides or the middle sides in Europe, and then they've all come together. So I think they make a solid unit, and they've blended them with some of the best talents from Turkey. Baris Yilmaz, you have Yunus Akgun. They complement each other very well. I think they really have a very good team. If we pay attention to them, they are one of the surprise packages that can make it to the knockout stage. But their home form is good. They will need to improve on their way form to be able to realize that. But on the evidence of what they did yesterday, I think it was a sensational win, a well-deserved one.
Well, Osimhen and the gang doing big things for Galatasaray.
You're locked onto Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 91.3 FM in Kumasi, and 102.5 FM in Takrady. Sporty, the voice of sport.
Work hard, play hard.
Also, follow us across the various social media handles at SportyFM _ on X, on Instagram at SportyFM, on Facebook at SportyFM, and also on YouTube, SportyFM. Yesterday, it was a big night in Madrid, and yes, our own Gary Al Smith was there to experience what they call football royalty. Gary, yes, we've delved a lot more into the other matches from the UEFA Champions League, but you know, give us a rundown of what happened in Madrid yesterday.
Yes, good morning, everybody. I think yesterday's game was a bit of a surprise to a lot of Madrid fans, Kelvin, because it seemed that the the temperature in the stadium was a bit frosty to Juventus because they didn't expect the Juventus that turned up. They had been watching the previous games of Juventus, the general temperature around, Juventus in terms of Igor Tudor and the fact that there was even pre-match talk, actually, if you recall, or if you heard, that Igor Tudor's job was at stake. There was even talk of that because Juventus were not getting their desired points. They were 24th on the table. They had not gotten a win in the Champions League on the board, while Real Madrid were on the opposite spectrum. They were flying, and this would have been another win. So the expectation also, probably most importantly, that Los Merengues fans wanted, a pre-Barcelona match that will imbue confidence. I think that was probably the most important reason why they wanted to see not just a win. So even though they won 1-0, it was not that which really concerned them as much as the satisfaction that, okay, the second half was something that they can take into the Barcelona game with confidence. Okay. So I think that was the main feeling inside the stadium. And the ref, from a neutral point of view, the ref was very, very fair. From a Real Madrid point of view, he let a lot of too many 50-50 balls go away. Balls, yes, go away when the typical ref anywhere in the world in a Champions League, whether it's Asian Champions League, African Champions League, European Champions League, at least home team there, you will get some small favor from the ref. This ref said you lie bad. He was firm. And he was very fair, and so they were not happy. It reminded me of Kotoko's complaint of the Wydad game. Kotoko said they were not happy with the officiating. What's his name? Is it Nidaku? He came to our studio. Seth Nidaku. Nidaku was in our studio, and he said that the officiating was not. But in your home, and you are complaining about the ref. Then what will you say when you go to Wydad?
That's quite surprising.
Yeah, that was it. And I thought probably what Real Madrid fans would tell themselves that Barcelona surely are not going to have a keeper as ridiculously obsessed like Di Gregorio has been during the Club World Cup when he met, Real Madrid, and then yesterday. The Club World Cup, he made 10 saves. Yesterday, he made 8 saves. But it's the quality of the saves, man. And I even heard talk from some of the Real Madrid press here. And, fun fact, in Spain, I mean, I've heard this, but seeing it up close is ridiculous. Like, the journalists are split evenly. You are either Barcelona or you are either Real Madrid. No mistake, nothing else. Like, it's not like other places that, maybe you are Olympics. You are probably 11 wise.
No blue black.
You are probably anti. Because maybe you. No. That's what this place is. You are either Barcelona or you are just Real Madrid. So, like the kind of and I've always said this, that sometimes maybe we're a bit too hard on ourselves in terms of because it's flat and open bias, and in the press boxes. Sometimes when you go to maybe Accra or Kumasi, you see journalists. The only thing that is not allowed is for journalists to wear the club jersey to the press box. Yeah, you get it. Yeah. So that's the part that sometimes we say that. Why do you see journalists in Ghana or maybe Accra, Kumasi, then they are wearing a Hearts of Oak jersey or an Asante Kotoko, because it's when you visit American Stadia as well. It's also written there, journalists are not allowed to wear club jerseys because sometimes, you remember the WAFCON, this happened.
Yes, it did.
Where, you remember that? Kelvin, you were there. When I think Cameroonian fans and I think Moroccan fans, there was a fight in the press box.
Exactly, yes.
Because people were angry that why were journalists supporting their national team? Say, SMO. So that's the general impression I got of the Real Madrid thing. That one, obviously they were happy with the win. 2, there's a bit of a worry about how their approach play will be against a tougher opposition than than Barcelona this coming weekend.
And that is the concern. That is the biggest concern for them.
Yes.
From what you've seen from Barcelona and what you saw yesterday in Madrid for Xabi Alonso's team, does it give any sense to the Madrid fans and the people who sympathize with Real Madrid that they can have a good one over Barca this weekend?
Beyond the fact that, when those two teams meet, I'm sorry to repeat the worn-out expression that it doesn't follow the form guide, but Charlie, it go hard.
It will be hard, eh?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I'm not sure what Xabi Alonso is cooking with the context of some of the injuries that Real Madrid, we know that they have, who will be available. Kylian Mbappe alone these days is a game changer all on his own. It's great from a Madrid point of view to see that big game player, Jude Bellingham, is coming back at the right time. A few other things. I think that Madrid should be worried and should cook something up and fast, real quick, in order to give themselves confidence that they can really play Barcelona off the park and get a routine win or a win that will not make them sweat too much. But hey, it all adds to the mystique and the intrigue of El Clasico for this weekend. Yeah.
All right, Gary, thank you so much. And we know that, yes, there are lots coming from you from Madrid that we would enjoy. I'd like to go, then we will finish up with the rest. Thank you so much. So that was Gary Al Smith enjoying himself. But have you left the flag at Real Madrid's training complex?
Oh, by this time they remove him. By this time they remove him. But yeah, I took it with me. The flag is always in my bag.
Okay.
Like, even when I'm in Ghana, it's always in my bag. So I just like to put it in places and take pictures with it. So it's in my bag.
All right.
Because some security man was giving me some side eye like that. I mean, I just took it quietly. I didn't want any trouble.
Exactly. You got the code. Thank you so much, Gary. Enjoy the rest of the morning and afternoon in Spain before you get down here. So that was Gary Al Smith there. He was at the Estadio Santiago Bernabeu to watch Real Madrid defeat Juventus by a goal to nil. Jude Bellingham's goal separating the two teams in a very, very exciting game that De Gregorio, the goalkeeper for Juventus, was excellent. Michael Asaribodo, I don't know if Michael, are you still on the line? Well, I'm not sure Michael is on the line. Yeah, we have lots to do, but just quick update as to matches that will be coming up in the Europa League today. Feyenoord will play against Panathinaikos. There is Brann against Rangers. Salzburg against Ferencváros. There is FCSB against Bologna. There is Fenerbahce against Stuttgart. There's Genk against Real Betis. Go Ahead Eagles against Aston Villa. Lyon against FC Bâle. There's Braga. SC Braga against that is Resta Belgrade, AS Roma against Victoria Pleasant, Celta Vigo against Leeds, Celtic Stormgrass, Freiburg against Utrecht, there is Lille against PAOK Thessaloniki, there is Maccabi Tel Aviv against FC Midtjylland, and then Malmo FF against Dynamo Zagreb. Young Boys will play against Ludogorets Razgrad, and then FC Porto are visitors to Nottingham Forest at 7 p.m. Michael, if you can hear me, a lot will be interested in how Sean Dyche is going to start his reign at Nottingham Forest. Looking at this particular game, what would you expect from him if you were a fan, or do I say a top member of Nottingham Forest management this evening as they play FC Porto?
On a lighter side, Arambo 2v1. Can you hear me?
Yes, Michael, I hear you. Harambol, eh?
Yeah, Harambol version 2, episode 1. That is what we are to expect from Sean Dyche. But on a more serious note, I think the first point in terms of the job that he has to do is to avoid his team losing games. And the first point to start, even from that, is to avoid conceding. I think one reason they brought in Sean Dyche is for stability. They will want to end that slump, that poor run. Because Forest last season, for everything positive they did, their traits were, they were a team that were scoring goals, yes, but they were not the top scoring side in the Premier League. One thing that really helped them was their defense. The central defensive pair of Nikola Milenkovic and then Murillo. They paired excellently. Ola Aina at the left fullback position and the right back, whether they chose to go with any other player, it worked well for them. Marcels was saving shots for fun. All of a sudden, they've lost that defensive aura. And what the first thing they will require Sean Dykes to do is to bring that back into the side. If they become difficult to beat, then it can embolden the team in terms of their belief and confidence to push forward to try and then get some goals. And I will not lie to you, Forest do really have a well-stocked attacking unit. They have an excellent lineup of attacking talent at their disposal. The issue has to do with having the right base just behind them and then also having the right midfield covering their defense. And if they sort that up, then definitely they should be in a position to have a team that is decent enough to compete favorably in a competition like the Europa League. Porto are on form. They are playing very well. But I want to believe that Forest will want to prove a point. And with them playing at home, their fans will bounce back. It looks like they were never in bed with a decision to appoint Ange Postecoglou. And it showed. But maybe in Sean Dyche, they will just appreciate his body of work, what he did at Burnley, and even what he did at Everton with restricted or limited budget. And they will want to be hopeful that with a team that is well-stocked in talent and more options, he will do better than he did in his previous job. So, yes, the fans will show up to support him, and they will want to start on a positive note. So, I think, in as much as Forest are not really playing well, I want to bank my hopes on them that this is a game where they avoid defeat. It is going to be a typical Sean Dyche game, and judging by the quality in the team of Nottingham Forest, they should be in a position to stand toe-to-toe with FC Porto. I watched their game against Real Betis, and even that was Ange Postecoglou. They did very well, and to me, what they offered meant that they should have carried the day, but it was just Postecoglou and his team's capitulating when you least expect, and it happened. They had to draw. But I think with the quality at their disposal, beating FC Porto should not be beyond them.
All right, thank you so much, Michael Asaribuado, yes, for your time today with us. We really appreciate it, and then we'll be hoping that yes, when the big men come up at 12:30 with a sporty plug, they give us a very good mix of betting us for everyone to get some money. Yes, the weekend is approaching, Charlie. Boys need money. That is it there about football. It's now time for us to get into another sport. Very wonderful sport. It's nice to watch, but there are times, yes, difficult to understand the rules unless you are very much involved. But this is coming up, for the entire nation to get better. We go to the Olympics, we go to some other championships that, we don't normally see it. But one of the sports that has given us some glory back in the days is hockey. And yes, in an attempt to unearth the next generation, there's something big coming up. Well, Isaac Graham is here. He is the LOC, leader, that is local organizing committee lead for the upcoming National SHS and Colleges Hockey Championship 2025. Thanks for joining us, Isaac. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. Yourself?
Yeah, by His grace, I'm doing great. It's nice having you in the studios and really much interested in what is coming up. Kindly tell us what is it that is coming up. Maybe I did not introduce it properly, so give us a feel of what is coming up so the entire world knows that yes, this is what is coming up in Ghana.
Sure. I think you did a good job on that. So so basically from the 7th to 9th of November, we are shutting down our car and the whole country is coming to the Tedio Soko Hockey Stadium.
Okay.
Where we have the National SHS and Colleges Hockey Championship 2025. So basically we're bringing about 30 teams from about 22 schools across the country.
Wow.
Boys and girls, that's massive, almost about 600 student athletes coming to exhibit their hockey talent, to showcase what they also have, and then it's a bit of a development pathway for Ghana Hockey Association, ensuring that we have a pathway that will keep developing and preparing ourselves for Olympics and other competitions to come.
What is the primary objective of this particular program that is coming up?
So we actually, as we team that says, unearthing the next generation.
Sure.
And we are also sustaining our sports. So, I mean, we cannot fold our arms and keep saying that, oh, lesser known sports. And I mean, so how are we sustaining the sports of hockey? Hockey has been an elite school sport.
Yeah.
So at the board level, the decision was, let's go back to the schools, let's develop it from there, let's catch the young and ensure that we're able to bring them and inculcate to them the discipline and teamwork and the spirit that comes with hockey.
Now, looking at this, yes, there are times you have competitions coming up, they don't have any attention from them. Is the media involved in this, and do you have any broadcast partners, and, you know, is it going to be televised, or which social media platforms can people, you know, be glued to watch this, you know, brilliant tournament that will be coming up?
Yeah, so that's why we're here. And Sporty has been one of the main media partners, in fact, the prime, supporting us in this. A lot of discussions, and I know from now we're going to hear a lot from Sporty on this.
Sure.
And there are other media houses who have also picked up the movement and trying to help us send a message across. We will be telecasting live, also on our YouTube channel, the Ghana Hockey Association. And then the competition channels, also social media platform, will take it. So we're actually going to take the feed live so that we will not be able to accommodate the numbers that wants to be. Talking about 600 students at the pitch. So the schools will have the opportunity to watch it back at home and then enjoy the game of hockey.
Which national agencies have actually, you know, made sure that this, you know, brilliant idea and championship, you know, becomes a mainstay in our education program?
So this is in Ghana Hockey in collaboration with the Ghana Education Service and then the Ghana private schools.
Okay.
So basically we are doing it for both GES and private schools. And so, I mean, once education comes in, it falls under the ministry, but I mean, GES is the main prime agency that we are working with. Yeah.
Okay, so now let's get into, you know, the schools that will be represented. And for the boys, there is Accra Academy, Achimota School, Adisadel College, Agotime Senior High School, Ebenezer SHS, Ednaman Senior High School, Ghana Senior High Technical School, Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, Legon, that is Presec Legon, Hope College, and Fantipim School, Opokuwari School, Prempeh College, SOS College, St. Augustine's College, St. Peter's SHS, and then St. Francis Senior High Technical School. And also for the girls, there is Achimota. So Achimota bringing both boys and girls. Yes, there is Archbishop Porter Girls Senior High School, Ebenezer SHS, and Naman Senior High School also bringing their ladies as well. Ghana Senior High School, Holy Child, Hope College, Kumasi Girls Senior High School, Fantaman Girls Senior High School. And then there is SOS College also bringing their ladies to St. Francis Senior High Technical School doing same. And then there is St. Louis Girls Senior High School, that is Odiom in Kumasi, and then Wesley Girls Senior High School coming up. So 30 solid teams that will be participating in this particular game. Any other things we'll need to know with regards to attendance? Is it free? What is being provided that would, you know, enthuse audience and spectators who will be present?
Yeah, so for this year, basically, because we are looking at nurturing and developing the student athletes. So we are not only going to play hockey.
Sure.
So we'll have a 2-day mentorship session.
Okay.
For the athletes. So just after the game, every evening we'll have a mentorship session, and the topics are very interesting. So we're actually having building the student athletes, character, discipline, and balance. That is, we're going to have a Director of Sports and Wellness at University of Ghana, Austin. Austin talking about it. And then we have a panel discussion on beyond the field, the pathway, careers, and future sources. So we're looking at how we're going to keep the students out when they are not in school. What are the pathway for them? What are the growth opportunities that they will have? And it's free. So basically, both the mentorship session and then the games are all free. We are not charging any gate fee. But we still need support. I mean, the numbers are huge.
Sure.
And I mean, we are motivated from the fact that this is something that both institutions are keen in developing and ensuring that they support us. So we're looking at ensuring to make sure that we get this done and done properly. and the results and objectives that we have set ourselves to achieve, we will make sure that we get it also.
Well, thank you so much. That is Isaac Graham. But Isaac, before you go, I want you to say final words. But the hockey championship for that is the national senior high schools and colleges hockey championship 2025 from the 7th to the 9th of November 2025 at the Theodosia Oko Hockey Stadium in Accra. So this is not just even about on it. I'm sure it's about celebration. The reason why we are playing at the Theodosia Oko, yes, because she is one who is very much glorified when it comes to the game of hockey. So all the flagship schools, if you are interested, even if you don't understand this game, you never know which game would bring you glory. Just be present to it. Isaac, your final words, and that we can say bye-bye.
Yeah, so we'll thank Jibu Water. They've come on board, and then Top Choco have also come on board. We know that a couple of discussions are also going to get other vendors and other support for us. So we call on corporate Ghana to come to our aid to make sure that we sustain this movement and ensure that we get the best out of it. For the media houses for Ghana, we are inviting all of you, pass by. You will see hockey at its best from this case. And then we also have a bit of a photo exhibition that we want to show the case, the students, those who have gone before us, Professor Tamils, Theodosia Oko, and the like, the 1974 winning, the World Cup winning team. Yeah. Their pictures will be there. We'll have it digitalized, and we'll have it also manual for this case to be motivated. So a lot will happen from the 7 to 9. That's why I say we are shutting down Accra, and we are calling every sports fan and every individual, pass by, spend about an hour with us, and you will love the game of hockey.
Thank you so much, Isaac Graham, for joining us this morning. That was Isaac Graham, yes, LOC lead for the National Senior High Schools and Colleges Hockey Championship 2025 that is coming up from the 7th to the 9th of November 2025 at the Theodosia Oko Hockey Stadium in Accra. Well, this is from the Ghana Hockey Association together with Ghana Education Service and then the Ghana National Association of Private Schools, bringing this over 30 teams from senior high schools and colleges from across Ghana participating, expecting 2,000 plus spectators, families, alumni, and sports enthusiasts. So make sure you get there between the 7th, on the 7th to the 9th of November for a very wonderful hockey experience. Thank you so much, Isaac, and then have a good day. We'll be there to support you.
Sure. Thank you.
Well, so that is it there. We'll be wrapping up shortly. But don't forget that if you are not going to the AFCON because Ghana is not present this December, the tournament is being hosted in the beautiful Kingdom of Morocco, and it coincides with the end of year celebrations this December. The Dunia Safari and Sporty FM bringing you closer to the games. Why don't you try something different from the usual dirty December routine? Go on there to be different. All you need to do is to travel with your squad or family. Watch the AFCON games live and explore Morocco like never before. Dunia Safari has exclusive group travel packages to see the two finalists of the AFCON 2024. That is the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Elephants of La Côte d'Ivoire. All you need to do is to use the Sporty FM promo code SPORTYFAN25. SPORTYFAN25. That is the promo code when booking to unlock a special 20% discount for a minimum of 3 people. Booking, repeat. Don't forget that this is going to be much more exciting, and you don't just hear it on Sporty FM. See the game live in Morocco. Very limited spots are available. So visit www.duniasafari.com or call 053-808-7709. or email them at travelduniasafari@gmail.com. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Travel Dunia Safari, and then get wonderful experiences from Morocco.
The voice of sports.
Well, Well, for those of you who love MTN Free After One, prepare for the upgraded experience. Yes, MTN Free After One Extra. Telling you about it. MTN Free After One Extra. You can talk for 1 whole hour uninterrupted while paying for the first minute of every 10 minutes you talk, which means for every 10 minutes you talk within the hour, you only pay for the first minute and you get to talk for 60 minutes straight with no interruptions. You like what you hear? Well, as if that's not enough, you also get 100 megabytes of data for free after your first call on Saturday. So you see, now is the time to talk extra with all the people you love. All you need to do is to subscribe to MTN Free After One Extra today. Just dial *550# *550# and follow the prompt. So we draw curtains on today's show. It's been a very wonderful time, but don't forget that the Black Queens are going to be in action at 4 p.m. as the Africa Women's Cup of Nations qualifier first leg at the Suez Canal Authority Stadium against Egypt at 4 p.m. Well, we wish them the very best of luck in there. We want to see them go and conquer Africa this time around. Well, so special thanks to the producers Imota Kwame, Jakwe Champon, to Emmanuel Ayamgan and Kwame Labi, Abigail Sena Susu Fly. Make sure that we're present across social media. To Nathan Kwao, who started with the show, Michael Asaribuedu, Gary Al Smith, to the rest of the production team, we say a good morning. My name is Kelvin Owusu-Antah. Coming up next is Inside French Football with Nathan Kwao. All the beautiful bits you want to hear about the league, he is going to serve you with it. Stay tuned. There's a lot more that will be coming up later. At 12 midday, we have the Sporty News at 12, and at 12:30 p.m. is the Sporty Plug with Nana Kwame Labi and the team. Yes, lots of games, lot to win. Don't miss that show at 12:30 p.m. as the Sporty Plug. Have a very wonderful day.